Okay, I have the cheek blocks out. Pushed all the way in is the correct position because I've shimmed the dogs at the back such that it would be. Pushed that way is all the way to the base without the spring. And I'm going to use the guide pin and a screwdriver for leverage to lift and lower the front rail. Let's see if you can see that better. There we go. So, and meanwhile, I have 60 mil aluminum oxide 3M sandpaper that I've stripped. This started off a whole sheet, and so for a broad area that works well, and depending on what I need. For instance, there's a spot between, there are two, it could be that they both relate to glide bolt number 5, depending on how the action was pulled out. Not sure of that. But anyway, there are two little gaps there, and in between there is a spot that these other guys are kind of wide for, so. I'm going to use the wide one for this big area. So I'm using the weight of the action bearing on the front rail to make my adjustments. And then initially anyway, I'm using the 1.5 millimeter, 1.5 thousandths thickness gauge. And it is tightening. Initially this went all the way out to this mark here, and now it only goes to there. So this is working. Okay, here's a spot that was open. It's still open. That's closed. I think I can, yep. Okay, this is moved a little bit that way. That's closed from there to there. So I can make adjustments in my chalk marks. That's gone in a little bit there. This has gone in a little bit here. And repeat. Okay, so I'm about to finish up the bedding, but in the end, the front rail I bedded from one end to the other. So with or without cheek blocks, it's fit. This has some advantages as I proceed to regulate, in that I don't have to put the cheek blocks in and tighten them down all the time. But basically, things were far enough out, so in the end, that's what happened. I just fully fit it. So now that the front rail has been fit, we should just check that all the glide bolts are still not touching, because of course as we've taken material away from the front rail, it's possible. I think it's improbable, but I'm just going to check anyway. Plenty there. This only had a little bit. Yeah, I think it's actually all the way up. Oh, maybe not. There we go. Got a little bit there. Ooh. Okay. Now, when the indicator moves, then I am in contact. Here. Okay, now the next one. So we've gone from 5 to 4, and now we're at number 3. And you can see that there's space underneath it. As it begins to pick up, now there's no space underneath it. Back to where it stops. I like to be just over the line. So it's in contact. But it can affect its neighbor, so check the neighbor. Nope. Neighbor still has good contact. And the first one we did, number 5, still has good contact. So, this is still not touching, of course. There it's moving. There it's not moving. So let's go back to the previous one. Still solid. Okay. A thing about this number 1 is that it actually takes quite a lot of pressure to shift it, but that is not touching. I'm going to have to do it by trial and error. Very close. A bit more. It's more than I think. It's easier when you can watch and turn at the same time. Okay, now that's solid, and I'm going to accept it if this one's still solid. And it is. So, we've got down bearing on glide bolts 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5. And now I'm going to do 6. And that is not touching. Still not touching. Now that is solid. I'm going to try this one, and if it's still solid, I'm going to accept it. And it is. So let's check them all. Okay. Balance rail is bedded. And please like, subscribe, or follow the link in the notes to my website.